Hi, he's Bob.
I'm Bob. And he's Tom.
And I'm Tom.
These are the type of serious shenanigans Bob and Tom have shared with us since beginning their radio show on Q95 in 1983.
Dr. Ruth, can I get pregnant when a man undresses me with his eyes?
Only if he's cockeyed. Golly, Earl, that might be a pretty good idea.
Now nationally syndicated, this Monday through Friday morning show serves 150 radio stations nationwide with bankable humor and insight. Just a few days before Bob Kavoyan announced his retirement at the National Radio Hall of Fame induction in Chicago, I had the opportunity to sit down and talk to both of these broadcast trailblazers. Here's Bob and Tom in a rare and candid interview. Long-time listener, first-time interviewer.
No, that's not true. I know you've interviewed us a number of times.
Many times.
Many times.
Way back.
And you guys came into town in 1983.
March 7th, 1983.
Wow. What a long,
Strange trip it's been.
Yeah,
So,
long time.
looking back, let's talk a little bit. Before we go forward, let's go backward. Are you surprised at your longevity? And what's the key?
Yeah, neither of us, we got apartments with, we had a bailout clause with the apartment so we could make sure that if it didn't go well, we could move somewhere else. And yeah, we had no...
We thought we'd come here and spend a year and then go back to Michigan, to be honest with you.
I think we had a bailout. I think we had 2 months severance because we had a good lawyer. It might have been a month. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was no way of knowing.
Yeah.
And when we arrived here, we certainly weren't greeted with open arms by the advertising community or anybody else.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because you were so different?
Well, we didn't know what we were doing.
We didn't know, honestly. No, we were two young pups who, we had no radio background we were small-town radio guys.
Yeah. What I always think when I credit you with your longevity and success, there's a couple of things. One is, of course, you're very smart. You're consistent. You work hard. I mean, what you do is not easy to get up this early in the morning and come in all the time. The other thing is you spread your talent out and you bring people in who are talented and comedians and bands and singers, and so you rely on and part of your staff that contributes.
We're hosts of a great big variety show, and it's it's like being the Carson and McMahon or whatever it was. They really did host a huge variety show of many different talents, and that's what we do. And
it's 4+ hours a day, 5 days a week, and you're starting at 5 or 6 a.m., which makes it even harder. Especially for your guests who aren't used to being up early, and so
True.
The comedians are not up at 6 in the morning.
They usually go to bed at 6 in the morning.
So we had to wake them up.
And you woke us up too.
Yeah.
So. Would you say this is more talk? It's more talk than music. It's talk, entertainment.
Yeah.
How do you give me a branding?
Well, when we first got here, what was it?
10 songs an hour. 10 songs an hour, guaranteed.
6 in a row.
5 in a row.
Was it 5 or 6?
5 in a row. If we did not play 5 in a row, that was a payout of $5,000. So we had to play 5 in a row.
Oh, 6 on Tuesday.
That's right. It was 2 for Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday. I knew that number from somewhere. And
so when did you convince them that chatting would be a better way to go?
When we went to the network, we created our own network, and then.
But we were down before the network started. We were down to about, I want to say, maybe 5 songs an hour. So we'd cut it down, and they let us do a few more things. But eventually, it became.
So you took some chances too.
Songs. Oh yeah.
I mean, because you didn't know if they'd fire you for this, or if it would work, or just again having fun.
They chose us, so they came in here hoping it would work. I think they had more confidence than us than we did because we didn't know what we were doing. But eventually, we kind of felt it out and figured out what was going on, and it seemed to be working. And then it steadily grew. And then once things start going well for you, then you can start taking more chances. That's
right. Oh, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon when you're successful.
Oh, sure.
Bob said a long time ago, this has been a 30+ year conversation. It's what's going on, what's happening now. Yeah. We still play classic pieces from the show, but 95% of our show is now. This is what's going on, this is what we're talking about. And trying to make it lively and funny if we can. And usually we can, I hope.
I think we've given ourselves permission to make fun of what goes on in the world because we make fun of ourselves.
Thank you so much. Continued success.
Thanks, Patty.
And rock on.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Great seeing you.
Thank you. Bob and Tom. Bob and Tom. Tom Griswold says the show will go on without Bob. We'll just have to wait and see what the future brings. Meanwhile, we all wish Bob the very best as he takes to the open road with his wife Becky in their Airstream trailer, Junebug. Thank you for all the laughs, Bob and Tom.